Welcome to my channel, and as per the promise, today we'll read about the major characters of Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales. We have discussed about the three literary periods of Chaucer, that is French, Italian and English. And Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales is included in the English period. And we have already discussed that the Canterbury Tales we have to read in detail. So I will break this literary piece in some several videos for better understanding. So come to the point. Introduction. Chaucer's great literary accomplishment was the Canterbury Tales, and the source we know that it is based on Boccaccio's The Decameron for the plan. But Chaucer goes beyond his model and gives a new significance to his work. Not the blind following, but we have to keep in mind that Boccaccio's The Decameron was the primary source of Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales. Now, the plan. Writing the Canterbury Tales was working on a plan. The framework of the tales is suggested in the prologue. The prologue to the Canterbury Tales is more important than the Canterbury Tales itself. A group of about 30 pilgrims gathered at the Tavern in Southwark, across the Thames from London, and agreed to engage in a storytelling contest as they travel on the horseback to the shrine of Thomas a Becket in Canterbury. So the journey will be monotonous, and so if they tell story to each other, and it will be quite amusing and enjoyable. Otherwise, it was a hard toil for them to go on the continuous journey in the horseback. So that was the plan. Now, there is some controversy regarding the exact number of pilgrims. Some critics say they were 31 pilgrims, including the host, Harry Bailey and Chaucer. Others have fixed to the number 30. The plan was that everyone would tell two stories. Okay, that everyone will two stories on their way to the pilgrim, and again their way back to pass the time agreeably. Everyone loves to listen stories. And Harry Bailey, the host of the Tavern, was the mastermind. So it was the plan of Harry Bailey. He planned this storytelling context, and what he promised in return, he promised a free supper to the best storyteller according to his judgment. The structure. Now, Chaucer united the diversity of his tales by allotting them a diversity of tellers joined in a common purpose. From every every sphere of life, the people come and join here. So they are joined here in a common purpose. What is that common purpose? To go to the shrine of Thomas a Becket in Canterbury. So Dryden said, this speech by Dryden is important. Dryden said, here is God's plenty, observing the motley of characters. Now, Chaucer Canterbury Tales contains 24 stories, among them 20 are complete and 4 are in fragments. You have to keep in mind this type of short things. Short note, take these short notes. And as the plan was that there will be total 30 pilgrims will tell 2 stories on their way to the shrine of Thomas a Becket, and again 2 more on their way back. It should be total 120. If I take that it is 30 pilgrims and 2 their way to Thomas a Becket, and again returning to 2 to 4, and if we multiply 30 with 4, it will be 120. I am not so good in math. Anyway, but Chaucer could not complete the book as he died suddenly. Nevertheless, the Canterbury Tales leave the impression of a work unified in spirit as well as diverse in riches. Though it is named Tales, it is not in prose but in verse, except 2 tales, the tale of Meliboeus and the Parson tale. Very, very important. Those 2 tale name of these 2 tales written in prose. The tale of Meliboeus. The tale of Meliboeus is told by Chaucer himself, and the Parson's tale is Parsons. It is written in rhyme royal. So it is also important to note down that it is written in rhyme royal. And we know what is rhyme royal. A 7-line stanza. and that is we have already read out, and rhyming ABAB BCC. It begins with the Knight's Tale. So what was the first tale of Canterbury Tales? The first tale was Knight's Tale. And what was the last tale of Canterbury Tales? The last tale was Parson's Tale. And it was written in prose. Okay. So, sorry for the disturbance. There is something problem. Okay. Let it go. Chaucer tells two stories. The tales of Meliboeus and the tale of Sir Topas. These are told by Chaucer. So these two tales are the tales of Meliboeus, that is written in prose, and the tale of Sir Topas, that is written in, as usual, poetry. Among the two prose tales, one is told by Parson, that is Parson's Tale, the other is by Chaucer. It was published in 1478. It was published in 1478 from Caxton Printing Press. The book exhibits the most elaborate and extensive portrayal of medieval society. The ecclesiastical characters depicted here. So in this way, I just divided this character list. You have to keep in mind who are the ecclesiastical characters. They are prioress, a nun, a monk, a summoner, a pardoner, a person. So if there is 4 options, one is from others part of society, then you can choose from here. Now, from military and feudal characters are a knight, a squire, yeoman, a plowman. They are from military and feudal. From women character, we will find in the prologue Chaucer presented 4 ladies. Very, very important. These 4 ladies are the prioress, a nun, the nun's priest, and wife of Bath. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4. This is very important to keep in mind, the 4 women character in Chaucer. Among them, 2 are storytellers, the wife of Bath and the prioress. You have also to keep in mind that among these 4 characters, who told stories? Wife of Bath and prioress. And from other profession, there is merchant, man of law, guildsman, cook, etc. They are from other profession. The character Chaucer presented in the Canterbury Tales. Now there is a character list. The narrator. Who is the narrator? Chaucer himself. The knight. The knight, he is the first pilgrim Chaucer described in his prologue. He is the teller of the first tale. He is prudent, brave, and experienced. He fights many wars. So the narrator is the character. Again, the character first we meet, that is the knight. The next character is the squire. He takes meticulous care of his curly locks and he is proud of his appearance. Not at all. I am not at all. So don't think so. He also composes and sings songs. He wears clothes embroidered, it will be capital He, with flowers. Next character is the yeoman. He was the servant to the knight and squire. He clads all in green and he is an expert in wooden work. So, which character likes to clad all in green? That is the yeoman. Now the prioress. She is modest and quiet. The prioress is a nun who is head of her convent. She knows French, charitable and compassionate in nature. Her name is very, very important. Note down this is what is the name of the prioress. That is Madame Eglantine. The name of the prioress is Madame Eglantine. She takes oath only by Saint Lord. So in whose name she takes oath? Not Saint Mary or not Saint any other saint, Saint Paul or Saint Mary. She only takes oath by Saint Lord and her name. These are 2 important things. She carried a rosary of small coral beads, large green beads, and a gold brooch engraved A with a crown and written. What is written on it? Keep it in mind and take note. Amor vincit omnia. So with prayers, we get so many information to keep it in mind. She sings her prayer in a nasal tone. You know that what is nasal tone? The previous time song, the ancient time song that sometimes play in radio, and pets some small hounds. Okay, this is also you have to keep in mind. Who were her pets? Some small hounds. What a prayer is. Now the next character is the monk. He loves hunting. He likes horses and he owns several horses. He has hunting dogs. He likes expensive fashionable dresses and food. So the character of monk that is portrayed by Chaucer is totally contradictory of his profession. He is the monk who should not have any attachment with the earthly life or any liking, but she is very fashionable and wears expensive fashionable dresses and takes food. He cares little for rule. His devotion is to hunting and eating and dressing and in hunting boots and furs. Now the next character is the friar. The friar, his name is Hubert. You must keep in mind these things, that Paris's name, the friar's name. The friar's name is Hubert. He is a roaming priest with no ties to a monastery. He accepts bribes from the rich. Okay, not from the poor. He is such a beggar at heart that even a poor man, even a poor man has to pay him. Oh, not from poor, not. He takes bribes even from rich and from poor. He's a jolly man and more interested in the love affairs of young men and women. Okay, perfect for his character and profession. The merchant, his shrewd man, expert in bargain, deeply in debt, and he has a forked beard. So keep in mind which character of Chaucer has a forked beard. That is the merchant. Our next character is the clerk. The clerk is poor student of philosophy at Oxford. So the clerk is also the Oxford student. Keep it in mind. If you find an Oxford student and clerk, the same. He spent money on books. I love this character. Speaks little, but speaks wise. He is thin like his horse, and his dress is threadbare as he spent all his money on buying books. Such a lovely character. The wife of Bath is our next character, and this character is very important. Bath is an English town on the Avon River. She had 5 husbands. Okay, not so much. सात खून माफ मैंने movie देखा था. I have watched the movies. So there were 7 husbands and now it is just only 5. So she had 5 husbands. The first 3 husbands were good, rich and old. Her 4th husband, 20-year-old former student whom she madly loves. She ripped a page out of his book only to receive a deafening smack on her ear in return. So that's why he cannot hear clearly. He loves marriages and sex, rich attire and talking. She is deaf in one ear and has a gap between her front teeth. Her name is Alison. Now, again it is very important. The name of the wife of Bath is Alison. She is a cloth maker. She enjoys travel as she had been on pilgrimage to Rome, Jerusalem, Cologne, and other places. So name some of the places where she had wandered. These are the places. Now the next character is the person. He is a devout person. He is poor but rich in holy thoughts and deeds. He is different from the monk, friar, and the pardoner. His dialogue. Keep it in mind. The dialogue of the person. If gold rust, what shall iron do? So whose dialogue is? It is the dialogue of the person. If there is 4 options, then you can write that it is the dialogue of the person. If gold rust, what shall iron do? Now next the miller. His name is Robin. Okay, again you have to keep in mind the miller's name is Robin. So you can make one thing. you can make a list, the character by profession and their real name. Okay, everyone's name is not here present, but whatever name I have mentioned here, you can note down. He is a big, broad-shouldered muscle man. He has a wart on his nose from which red hairs remain protruded. Such a funny character portrayal, it is only possible for Chaucer. And here lies Chaucer's genuineness. He plays the bagpipes. So whose character in Chaucer's Canterbury Tales plays bagpipe? That is Miller. His beard is red. You can get a one beard, fog beard. Who was that? I have forgotten. You must check it. He tells a tale that is somewhat blasphemous, ridiculing religious clerks, women, and carpenters. He also quarrels with the host. Okay, this is a very important point. So, who quarrels with the host? Which character? Chaucer has a quarrel with the host, that is the miller. Now, the next character is the summoner. The summoner brings persons accused of violating church law to ecclesiastical court. So that was his work. He is a lecherous man whose face is scarred by leprosy. He gets drunk frequently, spoke a few Latin to show how educated he is. And our next character is the pardoner. Pardoner give pardons. You do wrongs and he will pardon you. In the by some money, you will give him some money and he will pardon your sin. That is the work of the pardoner. He sells money. In exchange of money, he will sell pardons. And indulgences for particular sins to people who repented. He represents the corrupted practices of the church. He is a highly duplicated character and the epitome of hypocrisy. And now, the mastermind, the planner, the host, Harry Bailey. Harry Bailey is the mastermind of the storytelling contest, and he is the large man with a high spirit. Other characters are the man of law, the franklin, the municipal, the seaman, the physician, the reeve, the plowman, guildsman, etc., etc., etc. Okay. So in our next video, we will discuss about some major stories from the Canterbury Tales. The stories of the wife of Bath, and there are some stories about which we will read in details, the characters, the plots. These things we have to keep in mind. So bye for now. We'll meet again in our next video.